Look, I get it. Tryouts are a really stressful time of year. But what if there was a resource that could help you make the team? In this video, and if you watch to the end, I'm very confident that you'll be able to make the basketball team. I've got everything from what the coach is looking for, what not to do at tryouts, and even the drills you might see. So welcome to the Tryout Masterclass. Let's dive into the 3 key things you need to focus on to stand out in your next basketball tryout. First thing coaches are looking for at tryouts is your skills, right? They want to have a player who's skilled enough to be able to play against competition on the basketball court. Here's a very quick list and guideline of things that you have to be skilled at. So, can you shoot with good form and make game shots? Can you handle the ball under pressure? Can you run a play and make the right reads at the right time? If you master the fundamentals, you're already a step ahead. Great reminder here is the level of skill you might need at tryouts depends on what tryout you're attending. If you're in 4th to 8th grade, coaches really want to see a few things. Can you make layups with both hands, and do you shoot with good and consistent form? If you're in 9th to 12th grade, you might already be expected to kind of have that great finishing ability and be able to knock down those shots. And then on top of that, they'll add advanced skills like playing inside of that team offense. So know which kind of tryout you're at and what the expectations are for your skill level. The second thing coaches look for at tryouts is role players. Literally, the coaches need players that can fill a role, right? I mean, at some point, every team is going to need that center or the guard or the forward. So which one are you? My biggest tip for being an awesome role player is to know your role and excel at it. If you're that shooter, go into the game and knock down those shots. If you're great at snatching those rebounds, go ahead and grab those rebounds. If you're great at passing and being a pass first point guard, run that offense and get those great passes in. Right? Know your role, know what the team needs, and be able to fill a role on your team squad. By the way, if you're still really overwhelmed about all this tryout stuff, don't worry, I got your back. I have an entire series called Tryout 101, which is all the drills your coach might throw at you during tryout day. So just head to the description and check it out to dive in after this video. The third thing coaches look for is hustle, energy, and attitude. My coaches always used to tell me you can only really control 2 things on the court, your attitude and your energy, right? Every coach is going to have their star players, then they get the role players, but the last few spots on that roster are used for the hustle and energy players. Someone like a Jimmy Butler who's going to be a dog in those situations. Somebody who's willing to really wants it, who's willing to dive on the floor for loose balls, right? Defend the other team's best player. Somebody who really wants to win can fill that final spot. So maybe if you're not the team star player, and you're also, maybe some of your skills aren't super polished, your best bet on getting to the team and knowing what coach wants is to be that hustle and energy guy. To be honest, coaches can really tell a difference between whether or not you want to make the team. If you walk in acting like your parents forced you to be here and you don't want to be at the tryout, coaches can kind of see right through that in your ability to warm up and run through all the drills correctly and be paying attention. But if you really want it, if it's something down here in your heart and you know you want to make this basketball team and you really love the game, you're going to go all out at the tryout. And coach wants, really honestly, 10 to 12 of those players on his team throughout the year. He doesn't want to select people who don't want to be here. A bonus thing coaches might look for is if you're in basketball shape. Funny enough, right after tryouts, you get right into the season. So coaches don't want to select that basketball player who is literally breathing super heavy and out of shape after the stretching and the warm-ups. That's a bad look. This is especially important if you're in 9th to 12th grade, right? If you're trying out for that varsity team and you get tired, like I said, after those warm-ups, odds are coach is not going to want to pick you onto that roster, right? You have to be in some sort of basketball shape. I mean, think about it. The coach wants a player who's not going to be tired after that first quarter, but can almost play a full game. So if you want to be that guy, get in basketball shape, whether that's doing HIIT or that's doing some cardio, right? Or that's just running or jogging. Get in great shape so you can play the whole basketball game. Do you want to make the basketball team? Before you lace up, let me show you the top 3 mistakes that might keep you on the sidelines. The number 1 way not to make the basketball team is to try new things at the wrong time. Your ideal mindset coming into tryouts should be to do things that you do best. If you're not Steph Curry, I don't really recommend shooting from Steph Curry range on tryout day, right? Stick to your strength, and hey, if you're seeing this weeks or even months before basketball tryouts, this is your immediate breaking news to get outside right now after this video and start working on those skills that you feel like you lack or you're weak on, and that way you can use them during basketball tryouts. By the way, if you're feeling really stressed about this whole tryout thing, don't worry, I got you. I have a brand new series called Tryout 101, where I show you the drills coach might throw at you during tryouts. I'll link it in the description so you can dive in after this video. The second way not to make the basketball team is to not be in basketball shape. Basketball is a game of conditioning. I mean, love it or hate it. I remember being at my conditioning practices where we'd run up the stadium stairs, we'd do suicide 17s, up and backs, touching the line. And listen, I was out of breath, it was not fun, right? But coaches need to see who's really in shape. By being in shape, the coach is looking for two things. Number one, can you last an entire game? Right? If you're tired after just doing that stretching, I don't know if coach is going to be able to trust you for all 4 quarters. And the second thing is, how do you respond to adversity? Right? At some point, every basketball player gets out of breath, gets tired, starts doing the MJ thing where you kind of slug your shoulders to breathe and recover. But coach wants to see how you respond to that adversity, right? Do you keep pushing through even when you're fatigued and tired? Because that's the type of player he wants to put in that fourth quarter. Someone who will finish the game regardless of how they feel. So let me know in the comments below, how do you respond to adversity? The third way not to make the team is to have low skills and a low basketball IQ, right? Coaches want to see, can you run plays? Can you handle the ball? Can you finish with both hands? If you can't do those, it's going to be tough to put you into a competitive basketball environment. Speaking of plays, a great basketball tryout life hack is to ask if you can get the plays beforehand, right? Maybe your coach recycles a few of them every year, and if you know a returning player, maybe you can get that play and study it versus the players who are just going to try to make it up as they go and figure it out last minute. Be that proactive basketball player and try to get the plays ahead of time. At the end of the day, coaches, especially JV and varsity coaches, want to see that you can fit into a system, right? That you're not coming in and just not sharing the ball and being ISO heavy. So work on that basketball IQ, play some 5v5 and try running some different plays or actions, and get used to playing in a team system. Look, I get it. Basketball tryouts are really stressful, but what if I told you there's a way to stand out? Let's break down the top tips to boost your confidence, showcase your skills, and catch the coach's eye. Quick disclaimer, these tips might just make you the next LeBron, but remember, making the team is not guaranteed, so keep putting in the hard work and give it your best shot. Number one, if you're feeling stressed, let's apply the mindset of less worrying and more working. If you think about it this way, right? If we've got a month until tryouts, which is a long time, and we spend a total of 2, 3, 4+ hours over that month being really worried about tryouts, we could put that instead towards actually getting better and improving our basketball skills and getting ready for that tryout. By the way, if you're really overwhelmed about basketball tryouts, don't worry, I've got your back. Check out my series, Tryout 101, for drills that you might see on tryout day from your coach. So I'll leave a link in the description so you can dive in after this video. When it comes to making the team, let's talk skills. At the end of the day, the coach wants to put players on his roster who have good skills. And so you're probably immediately thinking, Josh, what skills do I need for my tryout? And I got you. So if you're in the middle school level or age group, here's what you have to focus on. Can you dribble with both hands? Can you finish at the rim with both hands? And can you shoot consistently with good form? If you've got those 3 things down, since I have experience coaching younger players, training with younger players, and being one at one point myself, if you can get those 3 things down, you're putting yourself in a really good position to succeed. At the high school level, can you run plays? Can you play the right way and make smart decisions under pressure? Which means not maybe turning the ball over and executing that play in the fourth quarter. Are you in basketball shape, especially with that fourth quarter? Coach is going to really need those fourth quarter players. A great way to stand out at tryouts is to be an awesome role player. Literally, a player that fills a certain role. So, right, every team's going to need those guards, those forwards, those centers. And if you can excel at those things, odds are you'll be able to fill that spot for that team. Now that we've got some skills down and we're also prepared to fill a certain role on our team, let's go over some intangibles, things that may not be measurable in basketball skills, but coach will still look at. First up, how are your grades? Right? If you don't try in the classroom, why should coach expect you to try hard on the basketball court? Second, are you a good teammate? When your teammate scores, do you sit down and not clap for them because you're jealous, or are you a good teammate and do you cherish team success? Finally, be vocal, right? I've seen a lot of pickup games where literally everyone is silent. But if you are really that player that wants to make the team bad enough, you'll be vocal, even if you're shy or nervous, right? You don't have to be a super loud person off the court to be loud on the court. You can be telling your teammates, screen coming right, left, you get ball, I got ball, and whatever it is, coach will see that you care about your teammate's success and you want to gain that competitive edge on the court. So we finally reached the night before tryouts, and again, we might come back to the nerves, but hey, it's okay, right? And enjoy the last night. You've worked really hard to get up to this point. You've put a lot of work in. I know it's been stressful, but the only 2 things you really have to focus on the night before, getting a lot of sleep, right? If you get 2 hours of sleep, it's going to be tough to be at your peak performance, and you're going to be really tired during the tryout. and we want you to have maximum attention and make sure your body's recovered. And the second thing is to eat that good meal. So sometimes you'll have tryouts like 8 or 9 a.m. Don't ask me why they have it so early. I don't think they should, but I can't control that. So make sure you're eating maybe some pasta or some good carbs and food the night before. And that way when you wake up, you're energized, your body's ready to go. And with the rest of the tips in this video, you're going to make the basketball team. So now we've reached the morning of tryouts. And if we've aced and done our preparation for the nighttime, we can also succeed in the morning as well. By having a great breakfast, that's key number one, so your body's energized throughout the tryouts. Definitely recommend some eggs in there. They're great for energy. Maybe some toast, whatever else you want to make. I would try to avoid high sugar because then you might crash, right? That's all Nutrition 101 for another day. But other than that, I would also recommend getting there early and stretching, right? Sometimes I've noticed that in basketball tryouts, you do like a few stretches, but they're really not that helpful. So maybe do a few of your own, and maybe it'll just be extra warm and loose so you can avoid injury and actually make it to the second day of tryouts. And also, hey, if the coach is there early and he sees you getting there 30 minutes early, now you've stretched, you've gotten ready, maybe you've done some form shooting to warm up your shot. He knows you're committed to tryouts, right? He knows you weren't forced to be here. You got here nice and early. You came prepared and ready, and coaches like those types of players. Now the most important part of this video is what to do during tryouts, and I've got a few tips to help you maximize your chances of making the team. My first tip is to give it your all and show your coaches that you want it. You can do this by being a hustle player, so diving for loose balls, like we said before, being vocal, going really hard on defense, doing whatever it takes to win in each drill and being super competitive. Coach will see that you really want to be a part of this team. Another key tip is to stick to your strengths. As a younger player, if you're not a great shooter, I would not try to truck up half-court threes to impress your coach, right? He's looking at what everyone excels at. So I would not, again, if you're not a crazy dribbler, don't try to do some crazy dribble moves. Stick to your strengths. Now, there might be times that you kind of have to pull that out of the bag, and that's okay. Maybe you're not super comfortable with the left hand, and you have to get one anyway, but hey, this is why I'm posting this video a month or two before a tryout so that you have time to work on these skills. This is a great reminder that after you watch this and Tryout 101 and you see the drills you have to do, to get outside and practice the things you might see at basketball tryouts. Another tip is to pay attention and do drills the right way. If coach says the drill ends with a three-pointer, don't get a layup. I've seen times where a player will go first in a drill, mess up. The second player who wasn't paying attention and watching also messes up, and now coaches know that you can't trust this player, and then he's obviously not paying attention. He's too busy doing something else or fooling off, right? So really pay attention during tryouts and do the drills the right way. Unfortunately, at some point, a mistake's going to happen. You're going to turn the ball over. It's going to hit your foot. You're going to make the wrong pass. You're going to execute a wrong part of the play. But honestly, this is part of basketball and a part of life, and coaches want to see this part. What happens when you make that mistake, right? Don't be that player that gets frustrated and slams the ball, because in some games that can be a technical, but, right? Control your emotions, stay positive, have a next play mentality. You turn the ball over, great. Get back on defense, get set up in your defense, and get ready to guard your player, and get the ball back, right? All right, so today we're going to be demonstrating the three-man weave. Here is our setup. So I'm going to have Coach Bidwell go to a corner, Coach Zach goes to the other corner on the baseline, of course, and I'm going to head to the middle of the baseline right here. So once again, right, we've got one guy in each corner, and we've got one person right underneath the basket on the baseline. All right, so the three-man weave, you really have to follow your pass, right? So I can pick a side. For this demo, I'm going to go to the right. So here's Zach. Zach's going to start to kind of jog or walk slowly, right? I'm going to pass it to him. Now he catches it, I'm gonna follow my pass, right? This is where that weave part comes in. So here I come, Zach's gonna kind of start walking forward here in slow motion. Now I'm coming around him. He's gonna pass to Coach Bidwell, follow his pass, go behind him. As you can see, right, I'm kind of running now. Here I go. Now I've got the ball. As you can see, Zach is running here, right? I pass, I follow. We go one more, last person gets that layup. So here's another look, right? As we start passing it to Zach. I'm coming behind. Really just following that pass. Here comes Coach Bidwell at me. He's coming behind me, right? Go back to Zach. Following his pass. Last person gets that layup. Good finish. Here's what our three-man weave looks like, full speed. One more, finish. All right, so we did the three-man weave slow. We did it fast, but it still might be confusing. So now let's head up into the sky to get a better look. All right, can you see me up there? Okay, good. All right, now we're gonna walk the three-man weave, but watch me, right? I start in the middle, here we go. Right, so I'm passing to Zach, I'm following behind. Right again, here we go. Make sure we're getting those crisp passes. Final person, bounce pass, finish. Good, there we go.
All right, so we've passed to the right. Same thing applies to the left, right? So now I start off with Bidwell. Same exact thing's happening here. Pass to him. Here we go. He's passing for the finish. Good. There we go. All right, so that was the first half of the weave, but there's another variation your coach might throw at you, which is why you have to know it. It's called the 2-on-1. So Coach Bidwell right there just made his layup, right? So he was here, he made his layup. What your coach is gonna do is you're gonna be going on back on defense, okay? The other two offensive players who didn't shoot that layup are gonna go on offense. So hypothetically, right? Coach Bidwell makes his layup, right? I was kind of here, I grabbed that rebound. So now he's getting back on defense. Coach Zach and I are gonna dribble it up, and our goal is to score, right? So again, I'm just walking this through. Remember, Coach Bidwell got that rebound. He was the one that shot that layup. Now I'm here, and out of here, we're live, right? Our goal was to get that basket. Remember, it's a 2-on-1. We're trying to use our advantage here. So that's the 2-on-1 variation your coach might throw at you. So here's the big mistake that offensive players are making on the 2-on-1, right? So if I'm coming down with Zach and we stay close to each other, now all Coach Bidwell has to do is right? Look at him, he can guard both of us, right? And our goal, we've got 2 players for that 1. So our goal, right, is to try to beat him as easily as possible. Now, if we spread out, right, so Coach Zach goes over there and I'm over here, look, now he's forced to make a decision. Either he's gonna play me and I've got that easy pass to Coach Zach, or if he's playing Coach Zach and he comes up, right, he's right there and I'm here and Coach Zach hits me with that pass because now he's guarded, wide open 3-point shot, right? So force that defender to make a decision and stay nice and wide.
So on 2-on-1, you're at an obvious disadvantage. Number 1 priority is to defend ball, be ready for that shot. I'm stunning, I'm on the ball, it's my feet, I'm here. He decides to shoot, I'm here to close out. However, I'm not gonna overcommit there, because if he decides I pick up and he sees the open man and he kicks, I'm here, I'm ready to hedge, and I'm ready to stop ball here. So again, it's not about overcommitting, it's about hedging and being at the right place at the right time.
So all 3 of us want to emphasize the importance of quick decision making, right? So as I'm bringing it down, you got to get rid of that ball and make a decision quick, right? If Coach Bidwell's here and he gives me enough time to knock down that shot, right? That's what I want to do. The longer you take to make a decision, the longer the defense has to kind of react. So remember, it's a 2-on-1. We have another player. I know you're trying to score, but don't forget about that other player, right? Zach's cutting, I'm here, he stuns, boom, that's an easy kick for that layup, right? And by doing that, really spreading out there and taking advantage, we're able to score on that single defender. So here's how you put it all together. Here we go. I'll get inbound. I got inbound. Here we go. Go back. Hey. So as I was coming down, my first instinct was to take that shot. But once I saw Coach Bidwell committing to me, I knew that was the perfect time to pass to my teammate Zach to get the layup. So again, it's all about how you read the situation, but watch how that defender and what they're doing, right? Depending on what if they cover you, cover your other teammate, is going to end up kind of aiding in what decision you make. This is the 1-on-1 full court drill, right? So coach is going to be testing all your skills on tryouts. Here are the rules. So right, this is my lane line. First lane line, if I come over here, right? Another lane line. As you can see, right, if we turn that way, you'll see I have cones laid up all throughout the court and the other 2 lane lines. So their goal, right? Coach Bidwell, Coach Zach's gonna be on offense. His goal is to get down there and score. Now remember, we're gonna walk through it, but his goal is to get down to that court and score. Now, Coach Bidwell here has his advantage, we'll go over in a second, because he only has to keep Zach in between each lane line. So let's slowly walk through it, right? Coach Zach's goal again is to try to score. Coach Bidwell is gonna try to force him right to either side. Here we go, let's walk through it slow and kind of demonstrate to them how it's gonna look going full court. Here we go, right? So they're walking through it. They're gonna use a variety of moves you'll see in that small space, right? It's really gonna bring out kind of your competitiveness. And right, coach is looking here, can you dribble the ball in tight spaces, right? Can you defend in tight spaces, right? Can you dictate where you want your ball handler to go, right? So here they go, now they're gonna start to attack, right? Once they pass that 3-point line, their goal is to get that layup, right? So here they go ahead, here we go, right? They'll do a variety of different moves. Trying to get by his defender, goes for that layup. Let's talk offensive tips. Here we go. So unfortunately, we're at a disadvantage. Most other drills you might have seen on my channel in the tryout series, offensive players got an advantage. Today we don't have one, but it's okay. We can still score and figure it out, right? So tip number 1 is gonna be trying to make that one move and go, right? I've seen too many players at tryouts. They go like this, 700 dribbles. And look, right, I have to get down all the way over there. Where am I going, right? I'm just staying here. So tip number one is, right, I wanna be facing my defender. I wanna try to make a move and go, right? Tip number two, I just got by him. A lot of kids I see, right, they'll do this move, they get by Coach Bidwell, and then they start slowing down, right? But once I'm in front, right, they let him push me to the side. Once I'm in front, stay in front, right? Because if I'm in front, I've got my advantage back. And the third one, sometimes you'll face that handy defender, right? They get your hands on you, they're all over you, right? He's touching you. But look, guess what? I'm dribbling with my left hand, my right hand is bored, right? So put it to work, right? I can be here, I can swipe. If I come to my left, I can swipe, right? That kind of allows me to get rid of that pressure. And again, if he puts a hand on me, now he can dictate where he wants me to go. So those are a few tips you can kind of implement on the offensive side. Now let's talk defense.
All right, as Coach Josh said, defensively, we're at the advantage. So let's make sure we're doing everything in our power to keep that advantage. Number one, obviously we have those lane lines as our extra defenders. We're going to be forcing the person we're defending to those baselines and trying to dictate where they go, right? So if Zach's dribbling up here, he starts dribbling here, I'm dictating him this way, I'm forcing him here, and then he's gonna have to now cut off and switch angles. So we want him to switch angles as much as possible. When he does switch the angle and try to make a move, don't be afraid, right? He goes, I get my hands in there, right? Make him uncomfortable. If he puts the ball down, I'm gonna try to swat at it. So he comes here also too. Zach's gonna now make another move and switch the angle. What's gonna happen, which is inevitable at one point or another, Zach's gonna end up beating me. And this is an important point that coaches are gonna look for. When you get beat, how do you react to that adversity? So when Zach beats me, he makes a move right here, boom, he beats me. I'm not stopping here and saying, oh, he's got the layup. I'm sprinting, not after him, but I'm sprinting to get in front of him, beat him to that spot, and then make him switch angles again. Those are the things you need to work on defense.
So we just did some tips for offensive defense, and now the fun part about learning is get to put it into play. So let's do it. One-on-one, full court.
All right, so the great thing about this drill, although Zach got me down there at the end with that layup, I get to now go on offense, get him back. And this is a time where coaches want to see how competitive you are and how you're willing to push not only yourself, but your other teammates to work harder in these drills. So let's go, let's get it right away.
So this is the two-person ball handling drill. It's a drill that your coach might pull out at tryouts to assess your ability to dribble the ball and to pass the ball, right? So we got Coach Bidwell here again, Coach Zach. They're gonna face each other, around 4 or 5 feet away. Now remember, when we're doing any ball handling drill, we wanna get nice and low. So they're gonna get in that nice athletic stance. And what they're gonna be doing is essentially different dribble combos into a pass. So the first variation of the ball handling drill is going to be crossover, crossover into a right-handed pass. So here they're going to start at the same time, right? Cross, cross. As you can see, right, they're taking it seriously. They're not just, throwing the ball at each other. They're really trying to get better, right? So they're going cross, cross, pass, nice and low, really working on their ability to pass that ball and handle that ball. Good, there we go. Great, good work. All right, so next variation, we've got double between the legs, right? So between with that left-handed pass. Here we go. You guys ready? All right, let's get it. Here we go, right? Between. And again, right, they're going hard. They're pushing their handle, right? Oh, look, Coach Bidwell made a mistake right there. That's exactly what we want, right? Don't be afraid making mistakes. They help you get better, right? He gets right back to it. He grabs his ball. He's back into that rep. Look at it. Good. There we go. Way to push yourself. Another variation you might see could be a between behind to a certain type of pass, right? So Coach Bidwell here, he's going to go between behind. He's going to hold the ball, pump fake, and then he's imagining that there's someone in front of him. He's got to step and kind of hook that pass to a center or a post entry, right? So we're going to be doing that one now. Again, coaches love players who can pass. All right, guys, let's get on to this variation. Here we go. Right, so we got between behind. You see, even coach, right? Everyone's going to mess up. Everyone's going to lose the ball. Don't be afraid of losing the ball. Right, I know you think it's the worst thing for you, but it actually helps you get better. Coaches want to see that you're pushing yourself, and also they love all sorts of players who can make those good passes, right? Look, they're pushing themselves, they're getting low, trying their best to get that ball to the other player. Good. Let's go 2 more right here. You're good, you're good. Here we go, 1 more, last one. Hey, There we go, great job. So your coach at tryouts could throw any variation at you. We've seen crossovers, between the legs, behind the back. Final one you could see, double behind the back, right? But instead of working on our right hand, we gotta go to the left. Gotta do it on both sides. So Coach Jack can demonstrate here, right? So he's gonna hit you with that behind the back. Boom, step outside with his left foot, that defender, hook it over, right? Post entry pass, here we go. All right, final drill, let's get 5 reps. Here we go, push yourself, here we go. Good, here we go, that's 1. Good. Right, coach is watching. Can they push themselves? Can they handle the ball? Can they make a good pass, right? Are they following the instructions, right? They're listening to me right now. This is their final rep right here. They're gonna end it. Boom, good work, guys. Here's a great drill coach might pull out of the bag to use to test your finishing, right? So I'm gonna start, it's called full court speed layups, right? So I'm gonna start right here on the block. And my goal, right, so let's say I'm first in line. So I'm here, splitting, right, getting in my explosive position. And now I'm pushing the ball. My goal is to dribble as straight as possible. So not out here, right? I'm dribbling. My goal is to get to this rim, right, for that layup. Obviously right now I'm walking through it. I'm just showing you how it's straight, right? Once I come here, finishing, right? Dribble, pick up, right, left, finish. As you can see, I'm out here sweating, demonstrating all these basketball drills. So if you want more stuff like this, you better subscribe. All right, I've got 2 big tips and keys that are essential for looking good in this drill. And the first one is you have to go full speed all the way, right? So a lot of players, when they get here, they'll come here, they've been going 90% the whole time, and these last 2 dribbles, all Coach sees is just 1, 2, super slow. But again, coach is looking, how do you finish in a game, right? In a real game, remember, all of our drills should be simulating a game. In a real game, if I'm here, all of a sudden, my defender's not gonna slow up, right? His goal is to come over and block my layup. So don't do 98% of the drill, get here, and then finish super slow. Tip number 2, coach can really tell your effort in this drill, right? There's a difference between a player who's going like this and a difference between a player who's pushing it out, right? So my coach used to say when I was doing this, that you really want to aim for 4 or 5 dribbles down the court, right? If he's seeing that you're taking a dribble every 1 second, that means you're not pushing yourself, right? Remember here, push the ball out and grab it, don't push it down. Push to where you're running, right? Here's that difference, right? If I'm starting to jog this way, right, I can go like this and bring it with me, or to get there quicker, right, and really beat my defender, I can push it out. So I'm here, 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 right, really dictating to that ball where I want to go. So those are your 2 tips to maximizing this drill. Here's the drill full speed. 2, look at that, 3 dribbles, right, left, finish.
What's a better way to see this drill in action than from a drone shot? So here we are high up in the sky, and as you can see, all 3 of us are really pushing ourselves and finishing. And in the following clip, you're gonna see how important it is to work on that left hand. Remember, coach is gonna test both hands at tryouts, regardless of which one you're weak at. Work on both of them and dominate this drill.
So if you've seen my other tryout 101s, we've talked a lot about the essential basketball skills, right? Ball handling, finishing, shooting. But something I didn't touch on yet, super important in a basketball game, is conditioning. So Josh, why is conditioning important? Well, you're running up and down the court so many times, you're gonna get tired, right? So this is a great drill coach could use to test your ability and your conditioning. So it's called the defensive slide drill. So I've got cones set up throughout the court here. I'm starting in the right corner, and what I'm gonna do, right? You've seen this tons of times. You've been nice and low. Your hands are gonna be out. Imagine you're guarding somebody, okay? So I'm here, nice and low, okay? Hands are out. I'm gonna slide to this first cone, right? So I'm here, slide, right? I'm not crossing my feet. Feet are staying hip width apart, right? Slide, slide, right? Not up here, I'm down low. When I get to this first cone, my right foot is planting, right foot, pivot foot. I'm opening up, right? Imagine you're opening up, right? I'm here, open up and pivot. Let me do that one more time. I'm here, right foot stays down, right? Notice, left foot's lifting, right? Pivot, boom. Notice, still nice and low. Now, next goal is that next cone, right? Here we go. Slide, 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 okay? Right, here we go, same thing. Nice and low. Oh, we hit another cone, but now our left foot's our pivot. So we're opening up, right? Right foot spins. Spin, changing my angle. Now I wanna get stack going. Here we go. Slide, 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 slide. Slide, keep sliding. Just like we did over there, here we go. Open up, right now to the corner. Here I go. Boom, okay. So now you might be done the drill. In the past, I've had a coach tell us, we'll run along this baseline here, we'll jog, right? Just finish coming down this drill. And then once you get here to the very end of the court, it's a full sprint, not a jog or a walk, a full sprint down here, right? So I'm pushing, I'm walking through it for you, but right? Once I demo full speed, I'm sprinting. I come here, right? I'm high-fiving, encouraging my teammates. I come back, I start again. So that's kind of how it looks like when we walk it through. Now, let's go full speed. As you can see, I'm out here sweating, demonstrating all these basketball drills. So if you want more stuff like this, you better subscribe. We might get tired, but here we go. We're gonna push ourselves. You guys ready? Here we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Maybe not your favorite drill, but it's good for you. Here, open up, open up, open up. Here, open up. Here we go. I'm jogging, jogging, jogging. Here's the fun part right here. Turn the corner, sprint. Let's go finish. Good work. We did it, guys. There we go. There we go. So it's tiring. You can see I'm out of breath after one lap. Coach might put that timer up on there. Keep running. Keep going through that fatigue and finish out that conditioning drill. Another drill you might see at tryouts is dribbling at the cones, right? So I've got cones set up all the way down the length of the court. I'm gonna have Coach Bidwell and Coach Zach demonstrate different moves in a second, but I'm gonna walk through it for you right now. So what I'll do is I'll start here. When someone, right, I'm the first one in line, first one in the drill, right? Slowly dribbling to the first cone. Now, right, just like we're in a game, we're imagining that a defender is suddenly cutting us off, right? So here I am, right, I'm dipping my shoulders, get nice and low, crossover, right? Now I attack the next cone, right? Here I go. Boom, cuts me off, crossover, right? Finding that next cone, trying to keep my eyes up, boom, crossover, really set that crossover, don't cheat it, I'm here, boom, this is great for conditioning too. Final one, at the elbow, boom, crossover, finish. As you can see, I'm out here sweating, demonstrating all these basketball drills. So if you want more stuff like this, you better subscribe.
All right, so like Coach Josh said, there's 3 points of emphasis we want to focus on. Number 1 is intensity. Number 2 is playing with a sense of urgency at gaining speed. And number 3, making sure on that move, we're squaring up with the cone and we're getting low to shift that defender. So here's what that looks like full speed.
All right, guys, next we're doing between the legs. And what we're gonna do at the end is something different. We're gonna mix up the finishes. So I'm gonna do a floater. So make sure you mix up the finishes when you do the drills. So let's go.
Like I said, this is really testing your ability to handle that ball. So we've done the crossovers, we've done the between the legs. What's our final one? Behind the back. So I'm gonna go full speed. The last thing I'm changing though at the end, coach might ask you to hit that jump shot. Here we go. Behind, right? Push, push, behind, raise up. Here we go, push, push. Really giving it my all. Look at that, I'm exploding. Here we go, last one. Behind, jumper. Coach Bidwell, thanks again for your time today. I really appreciate you helping demonstrating. Coach Jack, you too. Hey, don't wait till tryouts to learn this drill, right? Go outside, find 2 other friends, demonstrate it, walk through it, learn it, figure it out, and ace those tryouts. Want to learn the other drills you might see at tryouts? Click here for more Tryouts 101.